Breaking Alex Eala honored with national medal and cash prize for global tennis. Triumphs. The sun blazed high over Manila, but the air inside Malacanang Palace was cool, thick with anticipation. Cameras flashed. Journalists whispered in rows of. Officials stood in formal barracks in Filipinas, waiting for the country's most decorated tennis player to arrive. Then the heavy wooden doors opened. Alexandra Alex Eala, the pride of the Philippines, stepped in. She was no longer the shy teenager who once trained on the cracked courts of Makati. She was a global athlete, a symbol of what sheer grit and relentless heart could achieve. Draped in a modern cream Filipinana gown, her gold medal from her most recent WDA triumph glinted under the chandeliers. Today, the Philippine government would honor her with a National Medal of Excellence and a 5 million Cuban pesos cash prize for her contributions to uplifting the nation's image in global tennis. It wasn't just a ceremony, it was a declaration. The Philippines had finally recognized that its heroes don't just come from boxing, rings, or basketball courts. They can come from the baseline, too. From Manila streets to global courts, Alex's journey began far from the glamour of international arenas. Her childhood home sat in a quiet Manila neighborhood, surrounded by noise, laughter, and the occasional echo of a bouncing tennis ball against a garage wall. Her parents, Mike and Riza, knew she was special. At age 7, she was already dominating older boys in local club tournaments. Her forehand whipped so sharp that coaches called her the Little Storm. But in a country where tennis was a privilege, not a mainstream sport, resources were scarce, courts were few, and sponsors were even fewer. Still, the Eala family pressed on. When Alex earned a scholarship to the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, she left behind everything she knew. She was only 13, while other kids her age were posting TikToks and hanging out after school. Alex was training 8 hours a day, running uphill drills and learning to play against Europe's finest. Every drop of sweat, every lonely night abroad, all of it led to the moment she stood before a country's highest office. As a national icon, triumphs that change history. The list of Alex's accomplishments could fill a museum wall. She had become the first Filipino woman to win a WTA singles title and the youngest Southeast Asian player to break into the top 30 rankings in 2025. Her victories in the Japan Open and the Dubai Tennis Classics amended her as one of the sport's brightest young stars. But her most defining moment came at the U.S. Open 2025 when she reached the semifinals, the first Filipino ever to do so. Her victory over world number 4 sparked a nationwide frenzy. From jeepney drivers in Manila to fishermen men in Cebu, everyone seemed to know her name. TV screens and stores replayed her match point on loop. Alex Eala for president. One banner in Quezon City jokingly read, she had done something no one thought possible. She made tennis a Filipino story. The call from the palace. After her return from the WTA finals, Alex received a call that froze her in her tracks. It wasn't from a sponsor or a journalist. It was from the office of the president. Miss Eala, the voice said, the president wishes to personally commend you for your contribution to the Philippines' global sports prestige. You are to be awarded the National Medal of Excellence, plus a 5 million Cuban pesos incentive under Republic Act 10699. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. Her father hugged her silently. For years, the family had scraped together funds for flights, rackets, and tournament fees. Now, the country that once seemed distant was opening its arms in gratitude. The ceremony of champions. The day arrived like a scene from a national epic. Inside the Heroes Hall, the president stood before a grand Philippine flag. The band played the national anthem, its melody echoing to the palace halls. When Alex was called to the stage, the applause roared from cabinet members, senators, and even school children invited to witness the moment. The president placed a gold medal around her neck and said, "Today, we honor not just a champion, but a movement." Alex has shown us that the Filipino heart knows no boundaries. Not of land, not of race, not of sport. You have carried our flag with dignity, power, and grace. A ceremonial plaque followed, then the presentation of 5 million Cuban pesos incentive. But when Alex took the microphone, her first words weren't about victory or money. "This medal is not just mine," she said. "It belongs to every Filipino who believed that we can be great in something new, something we were told wasn't meant for us." Her speech lasted barely 5 minutes, but its power lingered. Government officials wiped tears discreetly. Athletes in the audience stood in ovation. Flashbacks, the price of the dream. In the days following the ceremony, as news outlets replayed the event, Alex reflected on what it took to get there. She remembered crying in a small dorm room in Spain, missing home. She remembered losing 9 matches in a row and wondering if she should quit. She remembered the financial struggles, her parents selling a car to fund her early international tours, and she remembered how, even at her lowest, she would whisper to herself, "If I can survive this, I can survive anything." The medal she now wore wasn't just for her triumphs. It was for every setback that shaped her resilience. The people's champion. The country erupted in celebration. In Makati, a giant LED billboard lit up with her image. "Congratulations, Alex Eala. You made us proud." In Quezon Province, schools held Eala Day, where students came to class wearing red, blue, and yellow. Local tennis clubs began offering free lessons to children, naming their courts after her. Social media flooded with tributes. One post captured the nation's sentiment. "Best, Alex didn't just win trophies. She won back our belief that Filipinos can conquer the impossible." Even President Rafael Nadal, the cash prize, a symbol, not a fortune, when asked how she planned to use her 5 million Cuban pesos incentive, Alex's answer stunned reporters. "Half of it," she said, "will go to the development of tennis programs in underprivileged areas. The rest will go to my training, because the journey doesn't end here." That decision captured the nation's heart. The president's office later announced that it would match her donation peso for peso, doubling the funding for grassroots tennis. Soon construction began on new community courts in Bulacan and Davao, the first tangible results of her generosity. "This is how change begins," she told the press. Not with one champion, but with one chance given to the next. Beyond recognition. Recognition brought visibility, but it also brought responsibility. Alex knew that becoming a national hero meant being a role model. She started to serve for the Future Foundation, focusing on mentoring Filipino girls in sports and education. Her philosophy was simple: discipline, dignity, and dreaming big. When she visited rural schools, she didn't arrive in luxury cars or bodyguards. She came in sneakers, carrying her own racket ready to hit balls with the kids. A teacher from Batangas recalled, she told the students, "You don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start." The kids were crying by the end. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next